Hello there. I have nothing to do till
Insert any upcoming video game here.
comes out, but I'm not sure what to play. It's so weird that all these games are out there, but nothing seems interesting. If only there was a wrestling game.
The cream of the crop.
All female. Released in 2004. For the PlayStation 2. Oh, that would be perfect. I could finally have something to play. Rumble Roses is a 2004 all-female wrestling game for the PlayStation 2. I randomly found this game while looking at graphically impressive PS2 games.
I'm pretty sure if I brought this game up in casual conversation, not many people would know what the hell I'm on about.
I'm gonna need that. Where'd you get that? You can probably tell what this is just from the cover. Wow, I sure hope it's like Mario? Face it, you've always wanted this. No, I won't oneup.com. I've never wanted this. Until now. It's got everything you want. Mud wrestling, perfect camera angles, and they ain't even trying to hide it. Looks amazing, plays fantastic. Oh, well, 1UP and Play Magazine have done my job for me. There you go. Looks good, plays good, and you want it. Job well done. See you next time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to play Rumble Roses, aka Jiggle Physics the game. If it wasn't obvious before, it should be now. This game is heavily sexualized. It's about big-breasted women duking it out in the minimum amount of clothing. Costumes, poses, animations, models, character gimmicks, the physics, and more. It's honestly hilarious how upfront it is sometimes. When the game was releasing, it was boasting that the characters have 10,000 polygons on each of them, which was unheard of for the PlayStation 2. Of course, today that isn't even enough for 2B's ass. Boy, it's got quite the intro. Pre-rendered CG to capture all that perfect jiggles for our viewing pleasure. But I think it looks really good. Great animations, a little heavy on the jump cuts, but that's kind of the point. This chick is locked up in a questionable outfit. Yeah, Konami, I'm gonna need you to explain this. It does not look good. Yeah, alright, I'm with... it's still going. Oh god, now she's dancing too. It just never stops. We open to a typical screen, got our normal options, quick match, story, options, and gallery. We will check the gallery out later on, that requires some special objectives. For now, let's try out a simple match. I've heard it plays like older WWE games. I haven't played one in years, but apparently it was built on the same engine as one. The gameplay is simple. Rather than a more complex string of inputs, conventional to more traditional fighting games, it's just a direction and button. You have the attack button and the grapple button. For example, to do a standing grapple move, you would initiate the grab, then press it again with a direction, left, right, up, or down, each being a unique move. This works whether on the ground or standing. This makes the gameplay really easy to pick up, but it lacks any curve. This also limits the moves available for each character, so be ready to see a lot of the same moves over and over. And I can't forget to mention how lewd some of these moves are. More and more and more lewd moves. Seeing this makes me check if anyone is watching me play this. You would be exiled by your family if they saw you playing this. Most are pretty normal for wrestling, few that are perfect for jiggles, or are perfect for the camera, but some are straight up way too much. This is not wrestling. This belongs on the hub. Given the content of the game, I guess it's to be expected. This game was rated for sexual themes, not sexual content. Of course, each fighter has their own special moves. These are called killer, lethal, and humiliation moves. Killer moves and lethal moves are usually pretty close, but they have different effects and require different setups, so it's fun to create the situation so you can use the best one depending on the match. These moves are your typical finishers. The humiliation is actually a certain gameplay mechanic that is kinda interesting, although pretty inconsequential. When battling, you can humiliate an opponent, as if this wasn't humiliating enough. You achieve the humiliated state by attacks. Each character has a reaction to the humiliation. Once your opponent is in this state, you can use your humiliation move. It's a submission but with a humiliating pose for them. This adds a multiplier to the mash sequence for submissions. You have to rapidly mash to make it out of one of these. But unlucky for you, if your opponent sees that this game can be easily cheesed by submissions, you're donezo. The best way to get through this game quickly is to just use the same submission over and over again. After a couple times, the time they will have will be too little and they have to give up. Though you can counter most everything. It's really simple as well. In order to counter a grapple from on the ground or standing, press R1 and triangle simultaneously. Countering attacks is the exact same, just with the other button. It's worth noting there is not an animation for trying, so you can just spam counter with no repercussions. Just make sure you spam the right one. No. This game introduced a mechanic that is honestly pretty interesting. It's a face and heel gauge. So each character has an alter ego that they can become. But in order to use them, you have to shift the character's gauge to the opposite side. To do this, you use a vow system, essentially goals for the match. By completing the right ones, you can shift the character to either side. The face and heel idea is a good idea, but in practice, it's just limiting. Since the characters have alter egos and is just the same person, you are limited to which ego that person is at the time. In Exhibition, if you have Reiko as Rowdy Reiko, you are locked out of Reiko Hinamoto, unless you go and change her. Cool idea, just bad execution. Honestly, even though it would be impossible to have Reiko fight Rowdy Reiko, why can't we just do it? It would be so easy to fix it. When you change them from face to heel or vice versa, have both unlocked. But even that defeats the point of the system. Maybe it was just a bad idea, but I digress. Even though the system seems to be something crucial to the game, it is completely disregarded in the story mode. No character seems to get the idea of having an alter ego, even though each character has one. They're always like, wait, aren't you Evil Rose? I have no idea what you're talking about. You're crazy. Me? Evil Rose? That's absurd. Come on, man. Just shut up. The game does start you off with the roster split on face and heel characters. These are supposedly the main characters. Their stories have the most content, and their alter ego stories are usually shorter. They imply that after the main story, events occur and they become the alter ego. Simple enough, right? Well, you're wrong. The entire Metal Gear franchise is more easily understandable than this game. I would really love to explain the story compactly, but after racking my brain for hours, realizing all the contradictions, and remembering just what game I was trying to explain, I realized it wasn't possible. For this video, new Rumble Rose lore video coming soon! Since the lore video will explain how the stories connect and what they build all together, I'll take this time to explain the quality of the stories. The main characters have quite a deep story that is filled with unique cutscenes and dialogue.
Cowgirl have magnificent teeth.
Huh? Are you jealous, sweetie?
Okay, that's not quite the best example.
But my sheep have more magnificent teeth.
They are unbelievably bare and never amount to much, but it's what you'd expect for a game of this type. I mean, nobody plays this to hear about how she's an orphan. Every character starts with a small explanation of their past that features them spilling the beans. And through your battles, you learn more while in the locker room or maybe in the ring. All stories feature the same path, but different end results. They range from basic to laughable. Mom, I hope you're watching from heaven as I wrestle in this mud pit in my cute bathing suit. You'd be proud. Some examples are Reiko. She's here to carry on her mother's legacy. Her name was Kamikaze Rose. You can probably guess how she died. Bloody Shadow is here on secret ninja orders to investigate the tournament. Candy Cane and Miss Spencer are here because Candy dropped out of school and Miss Spencer's trying to get her back in. It's these kind of stories that really elevate the cast. They do feature some decent twists and turns to help make them more intriguing. Oh wait, so the nurse made a cyborg of Reiko's mother and Evil Rose's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater coming soon. Man, I should be playing that right now. As you would expect in a fighting game story, you fight certain characters till you reach and defeat the final boss. Usually each fighter is a step with nothing else to them. But in Eagles, she gets slightly self-conscious because her assets aren't as pronounced. Not the deepest character development, but it's something. But I noticed that the alter ego main characters get the short end of the stick. I'm talking about the stick that doesn't really exist. These stories have almost nothing, other than a few battles. And I mean like 5 max. Which is quite unfortunate. In the overall story, the heel characters are mostly mind controlled by Dr. Cutter, so they didn't have much there to begin with. Evil Rose has the most, but she is one of the more important characters, so of course she would have a bigger story. For example, Rowdy Reiko's story goes like, she has her short blurb, has 5 matches, at the end, she has a short exchange with Noble Rose, and that's it, roughly 30 minutes. Kinda sucks, because these characters which are more interesting get cut off while the boring counterpart gets additional time. One thing that really brings the stories and characters to life is the voice acting. Ooh boy! Now that's how you do some localization. Konami is definitely not infamous for their localization. I mean, I didn't expect it to be good, but this is something else. And the dialogue really is the cherry on top.
The thorns of justice are in your side.
Have your senses returned?
Who are you?
You need not fear me.
Evil Rose, don't bother if you're not even going to try.
Stop it!
Oh, looks like I need a new plan.
I'm not stopping until I become the greatest wrestler the world has ever known and make my mom up there proud of me. Count on it.
Up there? She could be down there for all you know.
I never thought about it before. Is my mom burning eternally in the endless depths and darkness of hell? I've been curious how some think this is okay. Like, they had to okay this to be released. I can't imagine someone being like,
No!
that's it. That's the take. Wrap it up, boys. Sandwiches on John. Well, none of these characters will or have stuck with me. My favorites are Noble Rose and Rowdy Reiko. And no, it's not because of what you think, though that does help the score. Judgment and Bloody Shadow are pretty cool, but it's just ninja. They kinda just get a pass. All the other characters are just meh to me. Aigle is okay, Makoto is fine, and I don't care for Aisha and Dixie. They are just nothing for whatever reason. With the stories pretty much unfolding the same way, it's hard to get into other characters after you've played through 5 of the same story. It just makes them seem like a waste of time. As with fighting games, there are unlockables. By beating the story mode, you unlock the alter ego's story and the costumes for the character you beat it as. Including the base costume, there are 2, and there is 1 color variant for each. And lo and behold, it's a swimsuit! Kinda boring if I'm honest, but fret not. There are better things to unlock. Like gallery mode. Oh hell yeah, you know what's going on in this mode. To unlock gallery mode, you need to have one character in exhibition have 100% face or heel, then do a title match and win. From here you can... That's not all you can do in gallery. You can hear voice lines and check a bio for each character. A little secret for the gallery is interview mode. If you sit at the gallery completely still for a minute, the game will interview the Rose you have chosen. This is a fun little way to get to know each character a little more. They don't ask the craziest questions, pretty basic stuff, like favorite food, what they do in a typical day, hobbies, their measurements, and stuff like that. I'm guessing measurements isn't a crazy question given the game, though most characters deny answering it.
Like I'm gonna tell you.
Please! Please! You can unlock a different location for the gallery. If you defend the title, you unlock the beach setting. The beach is a little too much for me to handle. Oh, I can't take it!
Stop it. Get some help.
You ever motorboat your wife's pussy?
Well, that's it for this game. Honestly, I enjoyed my time with it more than I didn't. Rating it out of 10 would just not be a good score at all. It didn't bring anything new to video games, except its main selling point, the lore. Rumble Rose lore explanation video coming soon. Actually, it's just the sexualization. If that's what you're looking for, then look no further. Except maybe the sequel. I'll try that one later. If you don't enjoy the gameplay and the sexualization, you could use this to brush up on your anatomy final. Mammary glands. And that is gluteus maximus. Thank you, game, for your infinite knowledge.
Fuck you, bitch.
So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll... Wait, I just realized. This is the game I've been looking for.